I travel a lot for work, so hotels don't really bother me anymore. Same routine. Check in, drop my bags, lock the door, and try to get some sleep. But this time, something was different. It was a small hotel, the kind that looks normal during the day, but feels completely different at night. The hallway was quiet, too quiet. No voices, no TVs, just that low hum. You only notice when everything else is silent. My room was at the very end, room 317. The clerk hesitated before handing me the key. Just for a second, then smiled like nothing happened. I didn't think much of it at the time. But as I walked down the hallway, I noticed something else. Every other door had light coming from underneath, except mine. Room 317 was completely dark. No light, no sound, nothing. I stood there for a second, just looking at the door. Then I laughed it off. It's just a room. I unlocked it, stepped inside, and immediately felt it. That shift. Like the air was heavier. The room looked normal. Bed, desk, bathroom, nothing out of place. But it felt used. Not recently, but not abandoned either. I checked the lock out of habit, turned it, clicked it twice. Secure. I even tested the handle, just to be sure. Locked. I remember thinking, finally, a quiet night. I was wrong. I tried to distract myself, turned on the TV, flipped through channels. Static. Every channel. I checked the remote, changed inputs, nothing. Just static. That low hum got louder, so I turned the TV off. Silence again. But now it felt intentional. Like the room wanted it quiet. I set my phone on the nightstand, plugged it in. That's when I noticed something strange. There was already a charger there, plugged into the wall. Old, yellowed, like it had been there for years. I unplugged it, didn't think much of it. I wish I had. It started around 2:13 a.m. I know that, because I checked the clock. Right after it woke me up, there was a sound. Soft. Almost like something shifting inside the room. I sat up, listened. Nothing. Just silence again. I told myself it was the AC or the pipes. Hotels always make noise. So I laid back down, closed my eyes. And that's when I heard it again. Closer this time. A faint tap. Not from the door, not from the window. From inside the room. I turned on the lamp. Everything looked normal, exactly how I left it, but something felt off. You ever get that feeling? Like you're not alone anymore? Yeah, that. I got up, slowly. This time, I checked everything again. Bathroom, empty. Closet, empty. Under the bed, nothing. But when I stood back up, I noticed something new. The bathroom door was slightly open. I know I closed it. I know I did. I walked back over, pushed it open. Nothing. But the mirror. It was fogged, like someone had just taken a shower. I reached out, touched it. Cold. Too cold. And then a shape appeared in the fog, like something was pressing from the other side. I stepped back instantly. The fog cleared. Nothing there. I didn't like that. Not at all. I left the bathroom. That's when I heard it again. Right behind me. A whisper. Not loud, not clear. Just there. I froze. Because this time, I felt it. Breath. On the back of my neck. I turned. Nothing. Empty room. But now I knew. I wasn't imagining it. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight. That's when I noticed something I hadn't before. The mirror, not the bathroom one, the one across the room. It was angled just enough to show part of the room I couldn't see from where I was standing. And in that reflection, I saw it. Something standing behind me. Tall. Still. Watching. I spun around. Nothing. Back to the mirror. Still there. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. Because it wasn't just standing there anymore. It was closer. I dropped the phone. The light flickered. When I picked it back up, the mirror was empty. Whatever it was gone. Or it wasn't in the mirror anymore. I didn't sleep after that. I just sat there, watching, waiting, listening. Every sound felt closer. Every second felt longer. Until morning. As soon as the sun came up, I grabbed my stuff and left. But right before I walked out, I noticed something on the door, scratched into the wood from the inside. Deep, like someone had been trying to get out. It said, "Don't turn off the light." I don't remember seeing that before. I don't think it was there. Not when I walked in. I didn't check out properly. I just went straight to the front desk. And I asked about room 317. The clerk looked at me, the same way he did the night before. And then he said, "That room." He paused. "We don't rent that one anymore." I felt my stomach drop. I told him I stayed there. Last night. He just shook his head. "No, you didn't." I showed him the key, the receipt, everything. He stared at it, longer this time, then said, something quieter, "That room's been locked." For years. I didn't argue. I just left. But later that day, I checked my phone. There was a recording. 2:13 a.m. I don't remember recording anything, but I pressed play. At first, just silence. Then, breathing. Not mine. Slow. Close. Too close. And then a voice. Clear this time. Right next to the microphone. It said, "You opened it." I froze. Because I remembered something. That old charger. The one I unplugged. That wasn't just a charger. It was connected to something inside the wall. Something hidden. Something sealed. I never went back. But sometimes, when I stay in other hotels, I still wake up at exactly 2:13 a.m. And the door is already unlocked. What would you do if you had this strange encounter? Leave your answers in the comment section.